Today is the 8th of December 2023. I would like to talk about some more questions. Okay, these are past papers. Okay, this will be our 15th video since we started doing past papers. Thank you very much to everyone that have subscribed to watch our channels. Okay, I hope they help you, or whoever you have subscribed for. I wanted to say, if you are doing a receipt, please don't be discouraged. Okay, you can go back and get a very good grade. Okay, I'm giving you all the tips I can think of and all the things I know, and the most easiest way you can look at questions and solve them. Okay, and also to help you in your daily life, because it's not about just passing an exam, but it's about also looking at stuff mathematically to help manage your life. Okay, if you haven't considered already, please can you consider subscribing, sharing, liking, and following us on some of the platform. I'm still learning how to upload on some of the platform and some of the terms and rules they have. Okay, so with time we will cover most platform, but at the moment, if you want all the videos, go onto YouTube. Okay, you will get everything there. Okay, and Rumble as well. Rumble, Twitter, I update on Twitter, so you can use Twitter link and it will take you to YouTube to watch it. Okay, thank you very much. I normally write, please follow my notes/scripts in the comment section. Yesterday, like this, the video was very long, so I realized that the sign rule, the cosine rule, I kept on saying sign rule 269, I kept on saying 296. Okay, I will sort it out today in today's video. So but that is why you have to follow my notes. Okay, because my notes are accurate. If you just listen and you go and write that, you think, oh, I heard this, so that is right, then you might get the steps right, but you might not get the answer. Okay, so I'll really be happy if you follow my notes, and I'll try not to go too beyond 30 minutes. Okay, because I even think it was too long. Okay, beware of scammers. Okay, please beware. Okay, I don't even know what to say about them. Just beware. Okay, now watch last video for recap. Okay, but today's lesson, the last method I didn't go explain properly, so I'm going to use this lesson to revisit our method and then conclude about that question, because assuming it came next year, I don't want some people to say that I haven't done trigonometry, that's why I couldn't solve it. Okay, and then even though the third and the fourth method are longer. Some people might do add maths, but they might not like the topic. Okay, at times it's good to say the truth, because students, it's like, I like this topic, I don't like that topic. So even though trigonometry might be an easier route, they might not have learned it. But with what a method 3, using Pythagoras, they might rather prefer to do it in the longer way. So I'm going to use today's video to just explain the third method to you, okay, and then we'll conclude and wrap everything together. I need to be shorter today, I promise. Okay, now our starter for today, we are going to use difference of two squares to simplify equations. Okay, and I showed you what we've done video on this when we're doing algebra. Okay, so for instance, it says difference of two squares. So for instance, if you have x squared and 16 squared, the square root of x is x, and the square root of 16 is plus or minus 4. So if you have s plus 4, x minus 4, you should be able to simplify this at this point. Okay, if you are going to write an exam next year, back here. So x squared minus 16, the square root of 16 is 4. So you have x plus 4 and x minus 4. Okay, if you have x plus 4, x plus 4, it won't give you this. And if you have x minus 4, x minus 4, it's not going to give you x squared minus 16. But this x squared minus 16, which is the difference of two squares, because these are two squares, should give you x plus 4, x minus 4. X squared minus 25, square root of 25 is 5. So you should expect x plus 5, x minus 5. X minus 36, x squared minus 36. Okay, the square root of 36 is plus or minus 6. So you should expect x plus 6, x minus 6. Okay, so assuming you were simplifying an equation and you got to this point, that one here, x minus 1, x plus 6, and then in the denominator you have x squared minus 1. This can be in the denominator or the numerator. Okay, but let's consider this. This straight away is difference of two squares. Okay, if you simplify this, the numerator is the same, but if you simplify the denominator, you should get x minus 1, x plus 1. So the x minus 1s are going to cancel out. So your answer now, you can simplify it to get x plus 6 over x plus 1 by using difference of two squares. Okay, now the second one is the same thing. X plus 3, x minus 4. Now the square root of 9 is plus or minus 3. So if you break this down, you should get x plus 3, x minus 3, and then you have to put it in the denominator. So this becomes this. Okay, if you can't see this and you solve to this point, then you can't go any further. But you can apply difference of two squares here in your denominator to simplify further. So if you do that, now you have x plus 3, x minus 4, and then x plus 3, x minus 3. If you cancel the x plus 3 out, you have simplified now to x minus 4, x minus 3, which is that. Okay. Now, the third one again, look at the denominator, difference of two squares. X squared minus 1. The square root of 1 is plus or minus 1. So you have plus 1 here, x minus 16. Okay, so now if you break it down, you have x plus 1, x minus 16. So you have x plus 1, x minus 1. So if you cross the x plus 1 out, you will have x minus 16, x minus 1. So assuming you were solving an equation and you get to this point, you can simplify it further here, and then you can use this to continue solving whatever you are supposed to be doing to get your final answer. Or if you are supposed to stop here, then you stop here. Okay. Now today, I want us to revisit again the last question, because I think it's not everybody who have the knowledge of trigonometry, and these are topics that normally is taught in the end. Okay, so it's rushed through. So what I wanted to do is go back and do the method 3 properly with you, so that in case you don't understand the trigonometry one that I use, you can use Pythagoras as well here. Okay, so look at the question again. Look at it. Even though we have two right angle triangles, okay, this whole thing is 15 centimeters. Assuming we knew x, then it will be easy to find h. But we don't know x here. We know the whole of that. Okay, so we can denote this by x, and we can have 15 minus x because the whole length is x. Okay, so this is the analogy I used to solve. So this is my first triangle, and that is my second triangle. So I'm going to solve triangle 1 separately using Pythagoras. Okay, that is my hypotenuse here. Okay, and that's my hypotenuse here. So I'll solve for h, and for triangle 1, solve for h for triangle 2 here, and then whatever I get for h or h squared, I'll equate them together, find x, and then use x to find the height. Okay, so that was what I did in method 3. Okay, so I'm going to take you step by step through. Okay, so now this is method 3 from yesterday's video. Okay, so let x centimeters plus 1 centimeters be 15 centimeters for the base of the triangle. So this triangle, this x plus y will be 15, the whole of this. Okay, but if x plus y is 15, then I can say if this is x, then this will be 15 minus x. So that is my first assumption. Okay, so the first triangle here, I'm going to use Pythagoras theorem. And Pythagoras theorem said x squared plus h squared will be equal to the hypotenuse squared, which here is 12 for triangle 1. So s squared plus h squared will be equal to 12 squared. Okay. Now, h here, h squared here will be equal to 12 squared. I'm going to bring the x squared to this side, so it will be minus x. So now 12 squared is 144 minus x squared, which will be my first equation. So h squared will be 144 minus s squared for this triangle here, the first part. I'm going to use Pythagoras again to solve for this part of the equation. Okay, so here my hypotenuse is 10 centimeters. Again, this diagram is not to scale. Okay, it's from yesterday's video. So h squared plus 15 minus x all squared will be equal to 10 squared. Okay, remember the 90 degrees is opposite to the hypotenuse. We've done videos on Pythagoras. If you don't understand, go and have a look. Okay, and this is one of the easiest and interesting things. So now I have h squared 50 minus x all squared plus h squared will be equal to 10 for this triangle here. So h squared now will be 10 squared, and then I have to bring 15 minus x all squared here. So if this is positive here, if I bring it here, it will become minus. Okay. Now, because that part is minus, I need to simplify it and then use the minus that will affect everything in the bracket. So h squared here will be 100. If I simplify everything in the bracket, the 15 minus x all squared, I have 225 minus 30x plus x squared. Now the minus affects everything in the bracket here, not just the 225. So 225 is positive, so it becomes minus 225. Minus 30x is negative, so it becomes plus 30x. Okay, x squared here is positive, so the negative affects it. It becomes minus x squared. So h squared now will become 100 minus 225 will be minus 125 plus 30x minus x squared. Okay, h squared now will be minus x squared plus 30x. Now 100 minus 225 will give me 125, so minus 125. This is our second equation. So for this triangle here, we've managed to find h squared in terms of T1 and T2. Okay, so now I'm going to equate the two because it's the same triangle, two triangles in the same diagram. So I'm going to equate h squared for T1 and h squared for T2. So I've labeled h squared here. The first triangle, it gave me 14 minus x squared. In the second triangle, it gave me minus x squared plus 30x minus 125. So if I equate 1 to 2, my h squared, okay, I have 144 minus x squared will be equal to minus x squared plus 30x minus 125. So now I have to simplify, okay. Now look at it, we have minus x squared and minus x squared here. Straight away they can cancel out. Or you bring this x squared here, so you have minus x squared plus x squared, which would be 0, which I did here. Now I have 144 here, so I'm going to take 140 plus 144. So if I bring it to this side, it becomes minus 144. So this side is 0. Okay, so I have now 30x minus 125 minus 144. So I have 0 equals 30x minus 296. Okay. So now, if I bring the minus 296 to this side, I have x equals 269, please. It's not 296. It's 269 divided by 30. Yesterday I kept on saying 296 is 269 divided by 30. It will give me 8.97 centimeters. Okay, that is x, which is the distance from here to there. So now that I know the distance from here to here, I can use Pythagoras. X squared, h squared will be equal to 12 squared on one of the triangles. Okay, so I can either use, this is simpler to use, or because I've already found h squared here from my equation, so h squared will be 12 squared minus x squared from the first equation, this equation here. Okay, this equation here, h squared will be 12 squared minus x squared. Okay, so now h squared will be 12 squared 144 minus h squared, which I have just found here. Okay, here. Okay, 8.97. Again, it's a calculator, all squared. It's a calculator paper. So you have your calculator, then use it then. So h squared will be plus or minus 144 minus that, which will be 63.5391, the square root. So h will become 7.97 centimeters to 2 decimal places, or 8 centimeters to the nearest whole number. We choose the positive of h because the height is a length, so we can't choose negative 8 centimeters. Okay, so last lesson I rushed through this part. Okay, so now this is how you can use Pythagoras to solve for h. Equate them and then substitute back into the equation that you've than earlier. Okay, if you go step by step in the calculation, you shouldn't go wrong. As I've gone with you yesterday, I didn't have time to go through all of that. Okay, but that's why I decided to do it again in case for some reason you don't like trigonometry and you want to go through the longer route. But even I would prefer you going through the longer route, getting the answer right, than using trig and you are not confident in it and not getting the full marks. Okay, and that's why when you start the paper in the beginning, the questions are not difficult, so carefully solve them and then move on so that you can spend time to do some of these difficult, because some of these questions come in the end. Okay, so that if you spend 5 more minutes doing that and getting all the full marks, then it puts you in a good place. Okay, now, so with the fourth method, it's still the same process that I've just shown you, the same calculation, but all you have to do is, as we assume from the beginning, x plus y equals 15 centimeters for the base. So instead of solving in terms of x, now you can solve in terms of y. So when you see x, you put 15 minus y. It's the same thing. You will still come back and the same process. You still, all the process I've shown you, you still come back to get h to be 8 centimeters. Okay, so to conclude from yesterday, okay, because we are re-looking at yesterday, the first method is similar to the second method. Okay, so I took time to go through that. Okay, but I had to rush through this one, the one I just brought. That is why I thought I'll revisit it. So conclusion, you can use trigonometry. Okay, so you use the cosine rule at angle A. So you have a squared equals b squared plus c squared, a squared plus c squared minus, a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc, the cos of the angle at A, that angle here, for this triangle T1. Find this angle here. Whatever you get, use the sine of this angle. You are finding the opposite, okay, and you know the hypotenuse. So you find the sine at A, the angle you found, over equals to the height divided by 12, and then you use that to find the height, as I showed you yesterday. Or you use the angle at B. Okay, solve for the angle at B using the cosine rule. When you get the angle at B, find the sine of B equals to the h divided by the hypotenuse, 10 centimeters, and you get the same 8 centimeters for the height, as I showed you yesterday. Yesterday I took time to explain this. Okay, so you can get that in yesterday's video. So that will be your third method. Okay, the method we did yesterday, or you do what I have just gone through with you. Okay, in all the cases, you will get you will come back to get h for 8 centimeters. Okay, so the method again, what we did yesterday, you either use the angle at A or the angle at B. But if you use the angle at A, okay, if you use this angle here at A, then to use the cosine rule, you have to use the length opposite A. Okay, so that was what we did yesterday. If you use the angle at B, then you have to use the length opposite B, which is this, and this one here, 15. And then the cos of the angle here, you substitute it into this equation here, depending on what you are using, the cosine rule, B squared, that is if you decide to use the angle at B, which is equal to A squared plus C squared minus 2AC. If you decide to use the angle at A, then you have A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A, using the cosine rule. Okay, and then you solve, then you whatever angle you get, you find the sine of that angle will give you the height and the hypotenuse. Okay, so today is a shorter video to explain the method 3, because there are some people who have done trigonometry, but they don't like working with that, and because it's a lot, okay, so they'll rather prefer this longer method if they have the time. And there are some people too who have done ADMAS, but for some reason would prefer to use the Pythagoras, the longer method. But whichever method you use, you should still get your 8 centimeters. Okay, yesterday's video and today's video, if you are watching it, okay, I appreciate yesterday's was longer. Follow the notes. Everything on my note is accurate. Follow them. So if you hear 269, it's 296. Okay, use your calculator. Where I found the sine inverse, I'm encouraging you to use more of your calculator, because in the exam you won't be able to use your phone. Okay, thank you very much for watching our video today, and I'll see you in the next.